In an ancient temple atop a high mountain, where the morning mist veiled the entrance each day, lived a young monk named Kato. He had been training since childhood, sweeping the courtyard, chanting sutras, and studying under his master. Yet, deep inside, Kato struggled with a question he could not answer. What is true freedom? One day, his master, an old Zen monk, called him over and said, "Kato, you have trained for many years, yet your mind remains unsettled. I have a task for you: descend the mountain, travel through 3 different lands, learn about the lives of others, and return to share what you have discovered. Only then will you understand the nature of true freedom." With that, Kato donned his simple brown robe, took a flask of water and some dry rations, and set off on his journey. The first land, the village of laborers. After 3 days of walking, Kato arrived at a small village nestled in a valley. The people here lived by farming and raising livestock, working tirelessly from dawn until dusk. Though their lives were hard, they laughed together and shared humble meals by the fire. Kato approached an elderly farmer and asked, "Sir, do you feel free?" The old man chuckled. "Freedom? We toil all day, dependent on the weather, the harvest, and the taxes imposed by officials. But when I see my children grow, when I share a warm drink with friends after a long day, I feel at peace. To me, freedom is knowing contentment with what I have." Kato pondered these words before continuing his journey. The second land, the bustling city. Traveling past fields and forests, Kato reached a bustling city where merchants, scholars, officials, and nobles crowded the streets. Here, wealth dictated power and status. Kato met a wealthy merchant who owned many shops and vast estates. He asked, "Sir, do you feel free?" The merchant laughed heartily. "Freedom? I can buy whatever I desire, travel anywhere, and answer to no one. Is that not freedom?" Just then, a government official approached, demanding an increased tax due to a new decree. Kato noticed a flicker of anxiety cross the merchant's face. As Kato walked away, he wondered, does wealth truly bring freedom? Or is it just another form of bondage? The third land, the forest temple. At last, Kato arrived at a secluded temple deep in the forest. There, a lone Zen master lived in solitude, spending his days drinking tea, gazing at the clouds, and meditating beneath an ancient tree. Kato asked, "Master, have you found true freedom here?" The Zen master smiled, poured a cup of tea, and said, "Look at this cup. When it is full, nothing more can be added. When it is empty, it can receive everything. Freedom is not about having more or less, it is about being unbound by anything." Kato stared at the teacup, then looked up at the vast sky, where clouds drifted effortlessly, bound by nothing. At that moment, he finally understood what he had been searching for. Returning to the temple, months later, Kato returned to the temple atop the mountain. His master awaited him. "So, have you found your answer?" the old monk asked. Kato bowed and replied, "Master, I have met laborers, the wealthy, and a Zen hermit in the forest. I now realize that freedom is not found in wealth or circumstance, but in the mind itself. If the mind is unshackled, one will always be free." His master nodded approvingly. "Kato, you have understood. Freedom is not about escaping life, but about living within it, untouched by the chains of desire, fear, or ambition. That is enlightenment."